All right, welcome to your practice. So we were talking a little bit about traveling and being in a car for a long time. So maybe we'll think about that and how that relates to the hips and the hamstrings, the quads can get so tight, hip flexors get so tight. Sitting in a car or just sitting. And we'll think about that in our practice today. And also maybe a little bit through here. This tends to get tight when you're driving, texting, typing, a lot of normal human activities feel tightness across the chest. Maybe we'll talk about that kind of stuff today. We'll see. But to get started, always we want to check in, tune in, drop into our yogic state of mind. Sometimes we have a different kind of daily pace that is divergent from our yogic mindset. So we take a moment to sit comfortably, sit well, and drop into our yogic state of mind. And the yogic state of mind is one where we can sit at ease, be relaxed, and turn our attention to sensation instead of thought. And then maybe at some point, even leave the sensation behind and allow the mind to just be quiet and restful. So we sort of narrow our focus from just whatever we may wander with our mind to body sensation or breath, the alignment cues. And after we pay attention to that for a bit, perhaps even the mind can then just find this place of ease, not really having to pay attention to anything, but not yet being called back into that place of just wandering all over the place, as many of our day-to-day stories can go. So turning to the yogic state of mind begins with turning our attention onto our posture, onto how we're sitting in this moment. You can acknowledge any feelings or any things that are arising based on where you're coming from in your day. Just take a few deep breaths, starting to use those breaths as a sensory bridge to bridge the attentiveness of the mind to the sense experience, shifting away from a thought-driven experience to a sense-driven experience, a perceptive experience. And we'll bring the mind into that sense of discerning what brings the body into greater mobility, greater health, greater ease. And that is how we find meaning from the instructions, from the words. We say, oh, okay, he said that, but what does that mean in my body? There's too much of a good thing sometimes, there's miscommunication. And so we turn our attention to our body, and when I say lift up through your spine, lift up through your spine, we take that cue as an instruction to find more spaciousness in your seated posture, more room for the breath to flow, maybe even a little bit of alertness. And if I say soften your shoulders, you can't physically soften them. They're not like they're made of dough or something. But the tension might soften the muscles. You might feel that they drop down away from the ears, especially if we hold tension in the traps or the back of our neck. If we say soften the shoulders, this is that journey out of a thought-driven world to a sense-driven experience. Did my shoulders soften? Am I having that experience? Take another deep belly breath this time. You can even put a hand on your belly. Feel the diaphragm pushing down, expanding the belly. A low, deep breath. And squeezing in at the belly on the exhale. We'll do a few more like that. Deep belly breaths. Inhale. and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Feel that these deep belly breaths are dropping your attention lower into your body's awareness. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Good. Go ahead and stretch your left arm straight out in front of you. Pull it across with the other arm and feel that left shoulder moving away from the spine and away from the ear. Even gently turn your head a little bit. Try to find the stretch, find the release of tension in the back of your neck. And breathe in between your shoulder blades, expanding the back ribs. Inhale. Exhale. One more like that. Expanding the back ribs in and out. Good. Just gently let that arm fall down by your side again. Drop your head over to your right. Let it be there for a moment. Notice that there is some tension in the neck. Just give it a moment and see if that tension can soften. Good. Rolling the head back to center. You're going to stretch your right arm straight out across. You're going to go ahead and pull it across the body with the other arm. So you're drawing the shoulder blade away from the spine and away from the ear. Go ahead and turn your head a little bit if it suits you to help open the neck into the stretch. Inhale. Exhale. Finding the breath in between your back, in between the shoulder blades. Inhale. Exhale. And then dropping those hands down. Drop your head over to your left. Feel the tension in the neck. That's the muscles stabilizing. And once the body realizes it's safe, that tension will start to wane. The stretch will grow deeper. Roll your head back to center. Go ahead and lift it up. Good. Take your arms out so it looks like a field goal post or yeah, perfect. And you're gonna elbows a little higher if you can, John, as long as it doesn't cause any pain. Otherwise, here is perfectly good. You're gonna lift up and broaden across your chest. Now you're gonna pull. Listen carefully. You're gonna pull the hands and the elbows back at the same rate, not one way or the other way. Hands and elbows go back at the same rate, so it's opening across the chest here. But you can separate the hands a little bit and start to turn the palms up. So you're getting a little higher up. It's almost like a smile is being drawn across the chest and shoulder. You're going to like a rainbow connecting your hands, sort of make the rainbow a little bigger. You should feel the tension kind of drawing open across the chest. Let's breathe here together, in and out. The throat just slightly in and out. Good. Go ahead, rest those hands on your thighs or knees again. You're going to hang your head this time, releasing the forehead towards the lap. Feel the length and the stretch across the back of the neck. Let your shoulders grow heavy. Feel like you're rising up from the back of the collarbones there. The base of your neck is lifting up towards the sky, opening that back area. Let's breathe here, in, out. Sending that breath into the upper shoulders, in, out. And then returning your skull back to neutral. And just take note of your mind's ability to shift to a sense-based movement as opposed to a thought-driven movement. Could you feel in the stretch? The feeling of the stretch took it to its next stage. You're gonna go ahead once again, put your left hand straight out. You're gonna take your right hand, put it back behind you. You can touch the floor, touch your bolster. Just gently push down on it. And like you're drawing a line, just draw a little sundial line across with that arm, turning your chest into the twist. Good. The reason we have our arm outstretched today is because you want to actually outstretch it a little further, like you're reaching in that direction to help broaden the shoulder blade. Breathe here. Can you feel the rib cage spinning? Can you feel the spine spiraling? One more deep breath. Good. Let's come back to center. Very nice. You're going to put your right arm straight out. You're going to take your left hand back behind you, propping on the floor, pushing down on your cushion, whatever works. As you push down, now reach and turn your body as you reach away from you. So your spine is spiraling like a barber shop pole. You can feel the rib cage twisting and turning on top of the rest of the spine. You can add the neck to the stretch as well. And go ahead and reach out with your right hand as you breathe, opening the back side of the stretch here, in and out. In and out. Good. Rotating your body back to center. Wonderful. One more little opening here. Interlock your fingers. Go ahead and press forward. Really try to stretch your hands forward. Extending the elbow to straight. Extending the elbow to straight. Pressing forward. Broadening your shoulder blades on your back. Don't let those shoulder blades rise up. Still keep them softening down on your back. A little more, Kathy. Try to relax those shoulder blades down some. There you go. As you're pushing away. Good. So the shoulder blades broaden. Really nice. Take a deep breath here. Good. Now feel how the back feels full. The low back is full. The mid back is full. Upper back is full. And keep that fullness. Don't arch. Keep that fullness as you extend your arms up. Really stretching the shoulder rather than arching the spine. Can you feel, right? Creating a perception-based, sense-based yoga experience rather than a thought-driven one. One more deep breath. And go ahead and release your arms down by their sides. Really nice. Let's just try that one more time. A feel-based or sense-based yoga experience rather than a thought-driven one. Interlock the fingers. You can change the interlocking. Press the hands forward. Take a moment as you push and extend forward to feel the back body grow full. The back of the low back, mid back, and upper back is full. Keep the fullness as you lift the arms. So you have to feel in your own body, is my back body full or am I arching my spine? And you're finding the efficacy of the instruction in your own experience, your own understanding. We say we have had a direct perception of something, a direct perception. It's called a pratyaksha. It's a means of knowing. It's like, I know what it means to keep my back body full. Good. Release the arms down. Excellent. Just be a little relaxed for a second. Just rock the head side to side. Move your ribs a little bit. Let's move over to tabletop pose. Having a direct perception is a good way to see if you know something. It's very hard to convince someone that the sky is not blue because they can see that it's blue. And so when you feel in your body the power of a yoga instruction, the power of a yoga pose, it's very hard to say, that's not good for you. It's like, I know it's good for me. I've been experiencing it. It feels wonderful. This is a means of knowing. So now we are going to arch our spine. You're going to drop your spine down, tuck your toes, start to just stretch the belly muscles, stretch the throat muscles in the front, and breathe here. You want to have that experience of knowing why we're doing this, why there's the benefit. And so now you're opening the front of your spine, opening the abdomen muscles, opening the belly muscles. Still squeezing the belly muscles in a little bit. Good, go ahead, push down with your knees, down with your hands, and lift your low back up into the sky. Lift your ribs up into the sky. As you push down the earth, really fill in the back body. Remember to broaden your shoulder blades and breathe into your back body here by pushing down on the ground. Good. From here, extend your left arm forward and your right leg back. We're going to hold this for 5 breath counts. Try to get the lifted leg and lifted arm parallel with the floor if that's available to you. And stabilize yourself. Keep breathing. Pushing down with your down limbs. Reaching out with your lifted limbs. Last breath, and on that last exhale, if you can, you're going to bring those lifted elbow and lifted knee to touch in the air underneath your body. You're going to hold that for 2 breath counts. Concentrate on your sense experience, toning the core, and return to neutral. Good. Extend the right arm and the left leg out, if you can, parallel with the floor. We're going to hold for 5 breath counts. Keep breathing. Push down on the earth with your down limbs. Reach out with the lifted limbs. On the next exhale, pull the lifted elbow and knee underneath you to touch in the air. Hold for 2 breath counts. And return to neutral. Push the ground down, lift the belly muscles, lift the ribs up into the sky, and start to sit your hips back toward your heels, child's posture. Feel the low back opening, relaxing, creating space in your lumbar vertebra. Good. Inhale, draw your ribs forward. You can walk the knees back and place the pubic bone down into the earth. Cobra posture. Point your toes. Squeezing the muscles of your back into the spine. Holding for 3 breath counts. Feel the muscles of the back converging into the spine. That is the Cobra's pose. Good. Push down on the ground. Draw back again. Lift your belly muscles. We're going to round our back slightly and sink on back to the child's pose, like we're dripping the sit bones down towards the heels. Come back up to our tabletop posture. You're going to stretch your left arm up in the air like you're waving for someone, extending the arm away from the body. Good. Now go ahead, slowly paint the air and swoop that arm under the body. Keep reaching and extending, resting on the outer arm, letting the side of the head come to the earth, and thread the needle. Breathe. Inhale, drawing it back up to the tabletop. Open the right arm out like you're waving to someone across the way. Swooping, painting the air, come down and under. Reach it out until you can rest on the outer arm, opening up the back body. Breathe. Dive your awareness into the sense experience. It is possible. It is possible for you to just exist in the sense experience outside of a wandering narrative, outside of an anticipation of what may come next. This is the yogic experience, to exist without the anticipation of the next moment. Tuck your toes, push yourself back, downward facing dog. Extend through your legs. Today we're going to tone our quadriceps. Quadriceps are the big muscles on the fronts of your legs. They're right above your knees. One thing you can do is think about trying to lift your toes or lift your kneecaps. That will tone the front of your legs. And if you can tone the front of your legs, it'll give you a better opportunity to lengthen the back of your legs, sending your sit bones down to the heel. Dropping back down to kneeling. Walk your hands back up. If you need a blanket under your knees, go ahead and place it there. Move up to kneeling posture. You're going to turn your palms to face up. You turn your palms to face up. Opening the front of your throat slightly and pull the shoulders and the elbows back. Drawing the muscles into the back body. Good. Breathe here. And stretch. And tone. The stretching is in the front body. The toning is in the back body. Good. If you have those blocks, you can bend, grab them, and place them near your knees. You're going to step your right foot forward just a little bit. Today, you're going to stay back a little bit. Lift your toes, lift the ball of the foot so the heel is down. Push your heel down and draw the toes back to tone the quad. This will stretch the hamstring. If you press your heel down into the floor, you attempt to tone the hamstring, which will safely stretch the hamstring. Push the heel down as you sit deeper into runner stretch. Good. Draw the toe back a little more. Excellent. Now go ahead, bend your front knee and plant your front foot on the ground and push out through your front knee. Push out through your front knee, relaxing those hips and rising up through your chest. Rise up through your crown. You can push down with your fingertips on the blocks or lift them overhead. I'm going to practice pushing down right now to release my shoulders from my ears. You choose what you want to work on. Good. Go ahead, step back to kneeling, and you're going to change legs, bringing the left heel forward. Prop yourself up on blocks. It's going to be a lot easier, more beneficial, I think. If we're too far hunched over, it's hard to engage the leg muscles. Draw the left toes back. Press the left heel down, and this will help you sit deeper into the pose. You can feel the hamstring directly behind the quads. The quads are from the knee to the top of the hip. The hamstring is from the back of the knee to your sit bone. Hamstrings are on the back side, so we're getting a deep stretch in the hamstring here. Good. Rock forward. Plant the front foot and push out through your front knee. As you push out through your front knee, lift your chest, lift your crown. I'm going to keep my hands down on my blocks today to help release the shoulders from the ears. Breathe. You hear a lot of words. Now shift from a thought-driven practice to a sense-driven practice. Work the word into the felt experience. Good. Let's step on back. We're going to come down to our forearms, like you're making the number 11 with your forearms, about shoulders distance apart. It's not about shoulders distance apart, it's shoulders distance apart. Push down with your hands, down with your elbows. If it's available, you're going to you can stay on your knees and just walk them back, or you're going to lift your legs straight. So the toes, you're on the pads of your feet, and straighten your legs into forearm plank. Breathe and fill in the low back. Fill in the mid back so the back is full. Keep breathing. Good. Drop the knees and the pelvis into the mat. Slowly slide the rib cage forward and up, Sphinx posture. As you slide the rib cage forward and up, press the elbows deeper into the yoga mat. Feel how it opens the back of the neck, the top of the shoulder. Good. From here, point your toes if they're not already, and walk your hands out as far as they'll go in front of you. Stretch your chin out. We're going to alternate between this pose, and now you draw your hands back and lift up through the back of your neck. So your gaze will look down at the ground, lifting up through the back of the neck. I drew my hands back so my shoulders lift into a cobra. A different kind of cobra, the hands are in front. Good. Slide the hands out, open the throat by extending your chin. Inhale, slide the hands back to lift your shoulders, arms are straight, and lift through the back of your neck, so you're alternating the action. Exhale, hands out, chin extends. Inhale, draw it up. Fill in the back of your neck. You feel those muscles engage and tone, and extend out. One more round. Inhale. Hold the pose, but breathe here. Excellent. Place those hands underneath your shoulders, and you can do a push-up first if you'd like, and then head on back to downward facing dog posture. Bend your left knee and place the left knee on the ground in front of you, kind of near your hands. You can drop the back knee down and just look up at the moon. Stretching the whole front body forward. It's almost like a pigeon, just we haven't crossed the front foot. And step it back, downward dog. Take the right knee, send it straight forward until you're resting on the shin and the toenails. Look up, you can drop the back knee. Make sure you keep the knee lifted if you want. Good, let's push it back. Downward facing dog. Lift those toes. Tone the front of your leg. Let's do another set of that. Bring the left knee straight forward. Rest on the shin. Back leg can stay straight. pushing through the heel, or back knee can drop. Good, back downward dog, lifting the toes to tone the quads. Send your right knee straight forward, back leg straight. Back knee down. Downward facing dog, you're gonna step your feet as wide as your yoga mat. If it's available to you, you're actually gonna grab the edges of your yoga mat, the side edges of your yoga mat with your hands. Tuck your fingers underneath the mat. So you're holding the mat edge and try to push the mat away from your feet. And with your feet, try to pull the mat away from your hands. Feel that muscular engagement of your arms and legs. And let your spine hang like a hammock between the strength of your arms and legs. Good. Let's walk out of the pose and come to a standing posture when you're ready. Good opener. Finding yourself at the front of your mat, mountain posture. You're gonna squeeze the legs together. If they don't come together, you can keep them about hips distance apart and just energetically feel that they're squeezing together, but the knees don't collapse. We're just squeezing the legs. If the feet do come together, the ankles and knees should also come together. So if the ankles, knees, and big toes don't all touch, then you should have space. Okay, that's your guidepost. If the toes, ankles, and knees all touch, then it's fine to squeeze the legs. Either way, we're squeezing inward. Then with the arms, you're gonna squeeze the arms against the sides of your body. Okay, now squeezing is it's subjective. It's malleable. How you squeeze is relational to how long you can sustain the effort. So you should still be able to squeeze with the same gusto that you started this effort on. As you're squeezing in, now try to lift up through your spine like you're growing taller. Breathe. Good. Keep the squeezing of the arms and just start to bend your knees. Bend your knees. When your fingertips get down to your knees, you're gonna reach your hands out. And now step your right foot back or your one leg. Still reaching out. Still reaching out. Good. As you push your heel down, let that lift the body up. As you lift the body up, push out through your front knee. Feel how the whole mechanics work together. Very nice. Beautiful. The mindfulness of the presence and quality of the shape should be felt with the diligence of the instruction. We're going to step back, fingertips touch the knees, and rise up. Arms to the sky, hands to your heart. Good. Let's practice that whole little sequence on the other side as a mindful movement, shifting to a sense-driven awareness rather than a thought-driven one. Squeeze the legs inward. Squeeze the arms against the body. The squeeze should be able to be maintained for the duration of the pose. Keeping that squeeze, lift up through the core of your spine. Cycle the breath to hold your attentiveness. Looks good, nice and slow. Just start to bend your knees. As you bend the knees, naturally the fingertips will guide toward the knee. When they reach the knee, extend the arms out. Good. Take the left foot back, plant the ball of the foot, And as the heel roots into the ground, rise up. And as you rise up, push out through your front knee, warrior one. All the mechanics should feel entangled, woven as one movement. Stepping back to kneeling, fingertips on knees. Inhale, arms up. And hands to your heart. Breathe. Let's do that whole cycle one more time on each side, shifting our awareness now. If you know it, you don't even have to listen to me. Just flow. Make the mindful connections because you are shifting from a thought-driven awareness to a sense-driven one. Squeeze energetically the legs and arms. Lift through the core of the spine. Always breathing to stabilize the instruction. To take our attentiveness down to what the body feels. Bend the knees, chair pose. Bring the fingertips to the knees. Good, reach it out. Step the right foot back. As the heel plants, let that lift you up. As you push out through your front knee as well. Fill in the back of your neck as you lift the back of your hands higher. Stepping back to chair pose. Inhale up. Hands to heart. Mountain pose, squeeze inward. Bend the knees. At the knee, extend the hands forward, doing great. Beautiful awareness. At the height, step the left toe back. As you plant, rise. Let the planting do the rising. Reach out through the front knee to counter and stabilize. Fill in the back of your neck as you press the back of your hands further back. Stepping back to kneeling posture. Inhale, come up. You're going to bring up your left knee. Hold in one hand. Just lift it up as high as you can for a moment. Lifting up through the center of your spine. Good. Just place it back down on the ground. Drop down low. As you rise up, bring your left knee with you. Sorry, your right knee with you, the second side. Lifting up through the spinal column. It's okay if to lose your balance, come back down. Inhale, reach up with your left arm. Look up at the hand. Slide the right arm down the body. Keep looking up at the top hand. Breathe. Inhale, back up. Let's change the arms. Look up at the right palm. Slide the left hand down the leg. Good. Bend your knees. You're going to step your right foot back. Warrior two. Seal the feet. Keeping the back foot down. Push out through your front knee. Inhale. Lift up your top arm. Exhale. Straighten your front leg. Scoot that hip underneath you and draw a line down with your front hand, holding the shin. Inhale, lift up your right arm like a flagpole. Be efficacious with the flagpole awareness. It's straight up from your shoulder joint. Good, take a windmill shape. Reach that top arm now like a clock hand out in front, like you're resting your hand on a ledge. Good, front knee still straight. Good, bend the front knee and drop both hands down to the floor. Back heel lifts up. Drop your back knee, drop your hips lower as you look up at the sky. And step back, downward facing dog. Breathing here. Push your right foot forward. Inhale, windmill up, warrior two. Pushing down through your back foot, extend the front knee forward. Inhale, lift up the front arm. Exhale, straighten the front leg and draw a line down with your front fingertips, holding the shin. Turn your left arm into a flagpole. Look at it. Extend the top arm overhead like you're resting your palm on the table ledge. Good, bend the knees, hands on the floor. Extend forward, dropping the back knee, lifting your chin. Great mindful movement. Moving with a quality of sense-driven awareness. Step back, downward facing dog. Step your feet as wide as the yoga mat. Turn your heels in just slightly. And walk your hands back and come into a squat pose, elbows on your knees. Breathe here. Fill in the back body. Good. Drive down through your leg bones. Inhale, lift up through the back of your spine. Standing posture. Inhale, lift up through your hands. Rock the hips slightly forward. Exhale, sit back down. Swing the hips back. Bring the arms back down to prayer. Place the hands down, walk them forward again. Keep your feet wide. Step your left foot wide. Inhale, turn your left arm up to the sky. Left foot forward, left arm up. Exhale, turn the back foot down and walk your hands over. Listen carefully, you can look up if you need to. You're walking your hands over to your right, like 45 degrees. And now bend your back knee. Bend your front knee, so you're just opening up your hips a little bit. Bend your back knee. Bend your front knee, just opening up the hips a little bit. One more time. Good. Perch your left elbow on your left knee and come into side angle pose from here. The hips should be nice and open for you to extend out through your pose. Good. Drive down through that front foot to tone your belly muscles a little bit. Good. If you can, take your top arm, paint the sky like a rainbow, and tuck your top arm behind your back. Tuck your top arm behind your back and let your left ear fall towards your left shoulder, getting a neck stretch. Good, placing the hand down, right hand down, turn and step back, downward facing dog, nice and wide-legged. Push the right foot forward, wide on the mat, turn the back foot down. No, actually turn the back foot up first. You're gonna do a twist. Right, left hand down, right hand up. Right foot forward, right hand up. That's it. This is the twist first. Good. Then we turn the back foot down and out. Walk the hands over. And we're just gonna kind of rock back, opening up the hips. Bend the back knee, bend the front knee. Keeping those knees open, keeping our core lifted to stabilize the hips as we stretch. Good, bend the front knee, perch the right elbow on it and extend out, side angle pose. Draw a line and tuck the left arm behind your back. Let your head hang. Opening up the neck on the top side. Good, hands down on the mat. Step back, downward facing dog. Let's come down to kneeling. And you can sit back, you can rest your forehead on the mat. Take a short rest. A sense-based awareness can just enjoy the flow of breath, can just enjoy a moment of pause. Just like we've all had that feeling where we've enjoyed a moment of pause. Like looking at getting to the top of a hike and having a beautiful view. A yogi has that moment accessible all the time. It's just a moment where we have stepped out of a thought-driven awareness and into a sense-driven one. And maybe even someday beyond that. Good, go ahead. Press yourself up, step your feet wide. Turn the heels in, walk back into that squat pose again. Push down through the legs, lift up through the back of your spine, open up, arms to the sky, hips start a little bit forward and down into the feet. And relax. Good, you're gonna take a big step forward. Actually, maybe before we even do that, go ahead and plant your blocks again at the front of your mat. You may or may not choose to use them. From the back of your mat, you're gonna step your left foot about halfway forward. You'll choose. Your hands will either go for the blocks or your hands will go out into the air. Okay, so rocking forward, you're gonna step up, lifting the back leg, reaching the arms out nice and slow, or reaching the arms down to the blocks. Lifting the back leg up to about parallel with the floor. Trying to keep our spine parallel with the floor as well. Good, let's come back into the starting position. Let's do that again one more time. So this, now that you know what's happening, let's create that mindful awareness. So arms here, and as you bend, you're gonna reach out or down. Seeing where you line up. Breathing. Good. Dropping the back leg back down, coming up, and stepping out of the pose. Let's change our legs. So from the back of our mat, you'll step your right foot forward, hands up by the shoulders, reaching out or down, finding your rhythm where you can have a sense-driven awareness. Good. Back leg down, coming back up, and stepping out of the pose. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna step forward, we're gonna move into our warrior three, and this time you're gonna do your best. After you've done the warrior three on my cue, you'll open the body into the half moon. One thing you wanna be careful of in your half moon, which I'll be sure to say, is that the knee does not collapse in. The standing leg, right? We're open here, it's very common for the knee to collapse in or for us to flail our shoulders. We wanna rotate our hips. That's the key you want to focus on. So we'll make sure to pay attention to that. Go ahead, step your left foot forward, arms up. And you're going to dive forward, keeping the hips square to start. Find the mindful awareness, the sense-driven awareness. Good. Now that left hand's going to find the floor or find that block. Focus your awareness on your sense experience. Rotate the hip. Rotate the right hip to turn the body open. Good. If you can't rotate the hip, don't do the pose. The pose is the hip rotation. Excellent. Now drop that leg down. Inhale, come up. Excellent. Step out of the posture. Good. I saw those hips rotating. I saw you being mindful that the hips lead the rotation, not the arm, not the shoulder, not the knee. Step the right foot forward. Here we go, second side. Be mindful, this side's totally different. A thought-driven reality is thinking about the last side. A sense-driven one is brand new here in this moment. Here we go, warrior three. Diving forward. Breathing. Feeling this side's a little different, certainly in my body. When you're ready, you're going to plant the right hand down and rotate the left hip up to open the body. Feel the hips stacking, rounding the rotation there. Beautiful. Really good. And then drop the knee back, or drop the leg back to step out of your pose. Excellent. Let's come to the wall now. So now you can use the wall for the next couple balancing poses if you'd like. But today's about actually working on balance. So you're using the wall as a guide, trying to keep maybe just one finger, or if your hand is on the wall, it's the least amount of body weight. It's just there for awareness. You can even toggle with letting the hand come off the wall, okay? Root down through your right leg, bring up your left leg. Tree pose. Either hand can be on the wall, it's fine, but it's toggling. It's not needing the wall, it's just there as a guide so that we can stay in a sense-driven awareness as opposed to a thought-driven one. It's so easy to let our thoughts take over in balancing, especially when we're not balancing well. We can get frustrated and live in the story. Feel the foot on the ground. Feel the leg muscles stabilizing. Feel your core lifting you up. And now try to be bigger than the pose. Try to stretch your body out into the room as you hold your balance with or without supports. And just be sense driven. Good, let's release that posture down. Let's change sides. Push down through the left leg. Bring up the right foot into your tree variation. A sense-driven reality. You can feel the bones of the feet toggling with different amounts of weight. You feel the muscles of the legs twitching back and forth. And tone your core. Tone your core. And stretch yourself bigger, taking up space. You can toggle with the wall. It's just there. It's not supporting any body weight. It's just there as a guide. Good work. Coming back down to neutral. This next balancing pose, I do think you would want to stay close to the wall, but along the side of the wall. Okay, so that what you'll do is if you're close to the wall, if this is my wall, let's say we're going to do, we'll do it together. So you're going to bring up your right foot first. Your right foot, so your left side is against the wall. You're going to hold the ankle or the foot. And you're going to keep the hand, get close to the wall, pinky edge of the hand on the wall, and maybe even you rotate the palm so the thumb is down. Okay, so if you want all the fingertips to support, you rotate the thumb down. Okay, and we're not leaning against the wall, we're just gliding as we kick back. Okay. You're not leaning toward the wall, you're just using the wall, it's there if you need it. Mm-hmm. Extend that arm if possible. Beautiful. Focus. You can feel even the sense of fear or worry is actually driven by thought. The senses know when it's time to come out of the pose, when we're losing our balance. Just listen to your sensory experience. Rise back up. Release the posture. Good work. Good work. Let's try one more time, this last side, to shift out of the thought-driven awareness and into the sense-driven one. Trusting the body, moving with the body, not demanding things from the body. Turning the thumb down so the palm can be against the wall. You got to flip on the wall if you haven't done that. Using the right arm to guide us if we need it along the wall, kicking back. Feel the awareness of the pose. Really nice. Stay with it. Just be with it in the moment. And coming back out of the shape. Really nice today. Very good. Quick sip of water before we transition to our next phase of class. Okay, one little standing sequence before we go into the earth. You're going to place your hands on your thighs, step your feet shoulders distance apart. You're just going to sink back, push your hands down into your quads, and sink your spine back, your low spine back. So it sends your sit bones toward the heel. And then you're going to inhale, come up, rotate the palms out, and lift the chest and gaze. Let's just toggle between those two shapes. Press the hands down into the thighs. Sink the spine back. Breathe. And then rotate the palms out. Lift the chest and gaze. Extend your legs straight. Breathe. Last round, sink it back. Rise it up. Good. If you don't have one before we get to the earth, please look for a strap. We're going to use a strap for the second portion on the mat today. Guess not the second portion, but once you have your strap, you can go ahead and we're just going to come all the way down to the mat. All the way down to the mat. If you want a little pillow for underneath your head, you're welcome to have that as well. A little bit of lift on the back of your neck is fine. We're going to unloop our strap and hold it extended. You know, no need for a loop. Unloop. You're going to find the middle of your strap. You're going to bring up your left leg. You're going to hook the ball of the foot across the middle of the strap and bring the leg high up. You're going to hold one end of the strap with each hand. It's important that the arms are straight. The first round, we'll keep our our right leg bent, foot on the floor. Now activate the sense experience. You're going to flex the toes, activating your leg, pushing out with your heel, drawing back with your toes, feeling that leg muscle engage, and pull that strap down on your foot. Good. Now try to keep that edge level as you swing the foot, the pinky edge, knifing the pinky edge of the foot over to the left. Good. Stabilize your hips. Stabilize your hips. Hold the straps with just your left hand and reach your right hand out on the diagonal to the right on the floor. Stabilize with the right side of your body as you pinky edge kind of slices through the air. Try to keep the hips on the ground. We want to open the hip, not rotate the hip. We're opening that left hip, not rotating it. Good. Come back up. Pull down the strap with both hands one more time, and then release the pose. Go ahead through the middle of the strap, hook the second side, the other foot, pushing it into the air. It does not have to be exactly vertical. What's important is that the leg can become straight and the toes can actively draw down. The heel can actively push away. And then pull with your arms so there's a tension that tones the muscles and supports the bones. Looks good. Slowly start to move the pinky edge. Keep it in the line. Don't let it turn in. Don't let it turn out. Keep it in line. Moving it away until you can have to hold on with only the right hand and extend the left arm out to the left to stabilize. Use your left foot to stabilize. Moving the hip joint, not rotating the hips. Keeping the left hip down on the ground. Inhaling back up, take a final breath. Once you're up at neutral, just pull down on that strap firm. And release the leg. Rest a moment. Let's do another round, placing the strap over the arch of the foot this time. Placing the middle of the strap over the arch of the foot this time. Bring the leg up so you can straighten it. This time, if you want, listen carefully, if you want, you can extend your right leg flat on the mat if your toes can stay pointed to the sky and the whole leg is on the ground, it's not lifting up. Pull down the strap, flex the foot, flex the leg. And this time you're going to slice the inner leg across the air, across the midplane. Keeping your outer left hip down on the mat. Good. Now, in fact, just hold the strap with your right hand and support that outer hip with your left hand. And now let that left hip come off the ground. Keep pulling the leg, and let it stack your hips. Stack your hips, stay in control. You're going to a full twist now, so you're gonna, like we do in class, usually with the knee bent, you've got the leg straight now because you've got the strap there supported. Yeah, good, good. You gotta pull on the strap to get the leg to come back up. And then release. Knees bent. Hey, pretty good, everyone. I liked it. Great. Turn my body for this last one. All right, over the arch of the foot. Extend the leg into the sky. And if you'd like, if you did on the last side, maybe consider extending the left leg on the floor. Toes are pointed up. Flex the foot, flex the leg, pull on the strap. The first round, we actually keep our hips down on the mat and just move the foot across the midline. So it's the inner edge of the foot that's cutting through the air. Hips stay down. Okay, once you've found that edge, hold on with only the opposite hand, the left hand. Your right hand will rest on the outer hip. And now slowly, in muscular control, sensory aware, twist, lifting the hip, keeping muscular engagement as you extend into the twist. Good. To come out of the pose, pull on the strap to lift the leg and release the leg. Excellent work. Extend, release, get rid of the strap, just extend your legs out. Take a moment, just kind of stretch your body out. Hope that you could feel how the stabilizing with the straight leg and the strap can really open the hip there. And then rest your body. Now you turn even away from the sense awareness. So we turned away from the thought-driven awareness to a sense-driven awareness. And now you turn away even from a sense-driven awareness to just being. In yoga, the phrase for just being is Satchit Ananda. Satchit Ananda. And it means that there is a bliss in just existing. Stretch and press up to a comfortable seat. Namaste.